Yes, yes, yes. It is the Castworthy Podcast back at you this fine evening. I am Bigsteve, aka Last of a Dying Breed. Here this evening with EJ the Savage and Cenyour E. Gentlemen, it's been a couple of weeks. We've been gone. And just kind of running through holidays and some shit like that. But what's going on? How you boys doing?
All right. Trying to lose this turkey weight. Trying to lose this weight before I start to eat again. Go to town again on some Christmas food.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah. Yo, life is good. Shout out to Steve and I just had birthdays. I'm celebrating my birthday this week, even though it was last week.
Didn't your birthday fall on a weekend?
Correct. However, I was with the girls and we were playing Monopoly. I didn't want to pass them off to anybody because, I knew that with that, they were going to be there, but we playing Monopoly and I bust their ass, so that was great. And so now I get to do all filthy things.
How you gonna? You just choose what day to celebrate your birthday?
Yeah, some people celebrate all month.
Usually that's like Instagram hoes.
I'll be there.
I would expect better from you, sir.
You really shouldn't.
Yeah, I already know, man. So you didn't do anything fun for your birthday yet, besides Monopoly, which is pretty fun with the kids, I'm sure you were the banker, fucking cheater.
I've got Monopoly scars on my body from way back in the day, like this. Is it this arm or this one? Yeah, this arm. If y'all can see that scar.
You got abused over Monopoly?
My sister and I got in a fight. That's a knife wound.
Because he was the fucking Monopoly accountant and he couldn't do the fucking luxury tax.
Yeah, so that was a night of craziness. We were drinking CNC, like the big jug of that John, and things got out of hand. And
it wasn't until this very moment that I realized that two things: he's black and he's really from Philly. He got stabbed over Monopoly, black, and the CNC, and then the John. He said the John so smoothly. That's the Philly John shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He sounds like shit, like the rest of the of the people from Philly. Yeah, man. So, welcome back. We've been off for a few weeks. So, people have been asking. We've been getting text messages and DMs. So we had to get right back to it. And we'll be here. We'll be here going forward. So, you guys prepared for Christmas? You guys been out Christmas shopping at all? You been in the stores at all? Or you guys last minute guys?
I've been done for like a week or so now. I might just get a few more things over the next week or so, but I try to avoid the madness. Like pretty much like 90% of the stuff I do is on Amazon anymore. Forget going to those stores, man. It's wild out there. Real wild.
Yeah. I think every year that I've known you, you've always said that you've been done by like November 5th.
Yep.
What about you, EJ?
Well,
you haven't even celebrated your birthday.
Like,
yep. No, I mean
Christmas is this month. Yeah, this month.
They got
like
a
2
list.
weeks.
Yeah, they got a list, and it's only a few other things that I gotta pick up, but I'm gonna get them online. Hopefully, you reminded me I need to do that tonight. But I mean, all else fails, I'll just give them money that they don't know what to do with.
No, man, that's when you. How old are your kids? They want to
Who
open
does
a
Quan?
gift, man. They want to open up a gift. They don't want. I mean, cash is cool when you get like 20s or something, a
Yeah,
teenager,
I
but
do the old black parents thing. I get a shoebox, wrap the joint in wrapping paper, and throw the cash in there.
Well,
lazy.
Oh man.
he's
Lazy as hell.
he Jewish as hell, so they probably get one gift a night, like Hanukkah.
Oh man.
Oh shit, man.
What about you, Steve?
I started Christmas shopping actually. The better half does. She starts Christmas shopping in like fucking June. Anytime you're done wrapping up your wrapping paper,
What?
Struggling.
you should probably
Struggling.
right.
Struggling.
You probably need to get a noise canceling microphone if you're gonna be doing extra shit. The missus does shopping a lot of times for other people early in the year. She starts in like June, July.
Damn.
Yeah, so we've had some stuff sitting in the room now for my nieces and shit, but I still got a few things to patch up. I mean, it's always late for me because we got so much, like, you know, Ash's birthday is also the 8th. Her birthday is the 18th. Christmas is then after that. So, you know, generally it's
So
yeah.
so y'all like, all right, so your son's birthdays, your son and your lady's birthdays in December?
His birthday's on the 5th.
So
Right.
y'all
birthday's
December,
yeah.
y'all get screwed, don't y'all?
I mean, birthday screwed.
Well, back when you were a young lad, were you getting screwed?
No, not really. My people's always they always kind of kept it separate. My mom's birthday is on Christmas.
Literally.
Damn.
Yeah. So we have a fun filled packed December. My sister's actually the 4th. I'm the 5th. EJ's the 7th. My uncle's the 7th. Someone else is the 7th. I forget who else. There's someone else that's the 7th. My uncle, EJ, and someone else. Ashton's the 8th now. Nikki's on Christmas, or on the 18th. My mom is on Christmas. So all of that happens in December. But even, I mean, as a kid, my people's always, you know, we have birthday and then Christmas time still, you know, you wake up to the tree with all types of shit under it. So we never really.
So y'all was spring break babies.
I suppose.
Y'all parents was getting that spring break.
I don't think black people had spring
or
break
Valentine's.
back then.
There's either Valentine's or spring break.
Probably more Valentine. Actually, my pop's birthday is in March, so that's probably where that might have happened. Because I think I was early, possibly. I don't know. I don't remember. But yeah, I mean, I've been seeing the rushes in the stores, and you know, I thought it would be more online now because of the way things are. Like Black Friday sales were out fucking the Tuesday before. Like Best Buy had, like, I ended up getting a TV, and the TV that I got, Best Buy had that bitch on Tuesday for the Black Friday price. So
Wow.
yeah.
What room is that said TV for?
The living
room. So you're upgrading the guest room TV, I would imagine.
after you left.
Right, shit be a struggle in that bitch.
Yeah, like now that he's gone,
the living room TV is going in there, and then that TV will probably go out by the pool, and yeah, so watch some games and shit. Probably have to do it at the house because, you know, these fools don't come out no more. E and fucking VP, they forgot how to leave the house on Sundays.
For me, like, literally, my week has been really jam packed with these kids. and this band crap, like all the stuff they have to do.
They don't even like you. They don't want you. They just need your money.
He's a ride, yo. Just the designated driver.
Yeah, for real. What
Some
so are they
real
both
father shit though.
Are they both in band?
Yeah, they're both in bands. So like the marching band stuff's done. Now they're in
Concert band
and orchestra. They have jazz band,
Mm-hmm.
and they have these bucket drop things on the weekend. As a matter of fact, I got one this weekend that I volunteered to go with them because they were missing a parent. So
Where
out there begging for money.
Money, yeah. I never understood why. And the same thing with Girl Scouts. We do that shit for cookies. Girl Scouts only get 50 cents out of $4 of cookies.
Damn. They split the whole thing. So like basically you'll have like 4 kids out there to do a bucket drop, and whatever that cash is, so they'll have like 2 sessions, one in the morning and one in the afternoon. And they split it all between the kids, so it's between the 8 kids that volunteered, and then that goes toward whatever dues they have, like just straight cash. So they basically, I can say that they have did enough donations and stuff like that, or received enough donations and stuff like that, that they had their trip to Indianapolis paid for, both of them. It was like $350 each they got. So that was a free trip for them.
What do they do when they bucket drop?
They like, people just walk by, they just have the buckets out there. They're like, they don't really have to say anything. The people just know, and they just drop money. If some of them that play like horn instruments, so Griffin will be out there this time with his guitar, because we found a plug that can do his amp. Dorian plays piano, so he can't bring a piano. But some of the guys will be out there, on the tuba or the trumpet. They'll just like start playing a little stuff or whatever like that. So
y'all need to get the drums out there. You had the drums out there.
Their drummer is sick, man. This kid is
he's like
nasty. He's it's this little skinny white kid with glasses. And he's like so he's Dorian's age. He's in Dorian's grade, so he's a freshman. And he he had a solo in their Veterans Day jazz concert. Mm-hmm. He got the biggest standing ovation, man. He was it was like the last song. I've heard him before in middle school, and I was like, yeah, he's gonna be really good. And he's just like stepped up his game.
Really?
For high school, he's really good, man. I'm like, yeah.
He's like, that's my son.
Yeah.
You need, of course, the white kid. You should I was gonna say they should be out there playing. Like if they're out there playing, I would be more, like, me personally, I would be more liable to hand over some cash or something, because nowadays there's so many fucking scams, you know what I mean? Like these kids that walk around with the fucking Tupperware and they want to sell you a fucking dollar store Skittles candle for $10.
Or some fake coupons. Black and white copied coupons.
We got it in Baltimore, man. A lot of these kids, they'll be out here with like jerseys on that they wore like 7 years ago, and there ain't no parents with them. Like, that's the crazy part. Yeah. It'll be no parents with them, and you can tell like they're just trying to get a hustle. It's sad. It's kind of sad.
Trying to make some sneaker money and shit.
Nah, some of them just trying to eat. Unfortunately, CPS have been out there a couple times.
Yeah, shit's crazy, man. But I mean, get them out there, get them playing, man. And people, where are they gonna be posted up at? Like a fucking Publix or some shit?
Over near me, that Tractor Supply. It's right next to Publix. The Publix is for the cheerleaders. The cheerleaders have they stuck their flag in the grocery store. They're at the Tractor Supply. I want to get them to when I'm out there, if somebody's got a horn, I want to try to get these kids to play something. If nobody puts nothing in the bucket, like the Price is Right, Go Home theme or something. They're like,
yeah.
or something like that makes some people embarrassed for not putting money in the bucket.
How much traffic is the Tractor Supply gonna get?
I was about to say the same.
Did you see?
shit.
So I know it was dark when you came out to where I was at. What was? I don't know, man. I'm out in the sticks.
Yeah, it was kind of dark. Yeah,
Like right next to me is a place called Buffalo, which is just straight Buffalo and Christmas, which is all like hit. There's
Racist.
there's cow farms, cattle ranches, like right down the street from me. Several
And
of
they're
them.
racist.
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
And Steve's racist. Yes.
I'm surprised he can drive through there with
I don't drive through there. I turn east. I mean, I turn west.
Yeah, man. So that's cool, man. That's cool. It's the weather dropped today, so that means it's probably snowing up there or pretty cold up there where you are, EJ.
You got the snot coming down your nose yet?
nah, it actually was warm today. It's actually warm today. We had like
that's why you got that scully on.
Well, it's cold in my basement, but we actually had like some freezing type snow type rain, something like that last night. But it was warm as shit today, actually, though.
So it probably pushed down this way because we dropped to about 60. When I came out of work, it was about 64 degrees out, and which is perfect shopping weather down here because that's usually when the leggings come out.
I knew it was coming.
It is legging season here in Florida. Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, you guys pick anything up on Black Friday?
No, I did not. I didn't even get anything online on Black Friday. I was like, I haven't done a Black Friday in maybe like 5 years. I haven't done anything for Black Friday in 5 years, man. I'm afraid that I'm literally going to get into a fight or just minimum a screaming match. You know what I mean? Especially,
I would think it'd be a slapping match with that silly hat you got on.
Yeah, especially with it would be a slapping. I would have to be just have to verbally say stuff because it's most likely would be a female. It's just rude.
Oh my god!
The rudest people I've seen out there on Black Fridays, a completely unaware, no regard for anybody else, and I'm like, wow.
And the toxic award goes to E.
All right. I mean, facts are facts.
True story. Nah, I haven't done Black Friday in some time either.
Yeah, I did some online stuff. Actually, I ended up going out to Best Buy, picking up the TV, and got an iPad for the kid.
So did you have to wait? Did you wait in a line overnight or what?
No. So what's crazy is the TV was posted up Tuesday, and I was like, let me go ahead and order it and have it delivered. And then I was like, no, I'm good. And then Friday came around, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna go ahead and order it. And they were sold out online. They only had it in one store, so I ended up having to drive all the way to fucking Daytona, an hour away.
Damn.
To pick that shit up.
Might as well just hang out at the beach.
Yeah, so it was alright. It was straight. Nothing too crazy. Shout out to the Yankees, man. You see that right there. You see that.
Gerrit Cole
got the best pitcher that we've seen in a long time. Probably the best pitcher. Yeah, probably the best pitcher in Major League.
Nah, Steven Strasburg right now. That's between Strasburg and Syndergaard. Syndergaard is just on my Mets who can't do anything, but fine.
Why does it look like my video is frozen?
Because it is.
Yeah, it is.
Every look on your face.
It is.
That's my EJ is full of shit. Strasburg.
Nah, you definitely were. Yeah. Nah, definitely good move by the Yankees, man. Good move. Another reason to bust Philly's ass if they ever.
Yeah, we just picked up a shortstop. Well, I'm excited about the coaching change, man. I think I told you guys before I couldn't stand Gabe Kapler. Man, he was just the weirdest manager. I mean, I don't know what he was doing, but he overthought stuff. He was trying to be like he was attempting to be like an idiot savant, but he just got the idiot part right. And he fucking. I was so happy to see him go, man.
But you guys got Joe Girardi as a manager now.
Yeah.
The old Yankees manager,
Mm-hmm.
which
That was
is
pretty good.
yeah, which is why
Totally
I
different
kind
culture change.
I kind of figured that would be why Didi ended up there for the 1 year, 14 million. Didi Gregorius, which is a good pickup for you guys. You guys are probably going to end up not doing anything with June Segura because he's always fucking hurt.
Right.
So
we still need pitching though.
Didi's another lefty for your fucking lineup. Him and Bryce Harper, you guys will be all right. You definitely do need some pitching out there over there.
Bad.
In
We
Philly.
need like 3 pitchers.
Yeah, I mean, we spent a lot of money on Gerrit Cole, but I mean, he went 19-0 last season. So
yeah, that's if you got the money. I mean, that's like baseball. The contract. I mean, if you got the money, if your owner's got the money, then
yeah,
there's no such thing as
It's a 9-year. It's a 9-year deal, and he's young. And pitchers like him, barring no Tommy John injuries or anything like that, pitchers like him, they will lose velocity, but by then, if he has the right coaching, the right mindset, he'll get better movement by the time he's like 36. Hopefully he'll have a couple rings with us,
Hopefully not. But
well, he's always been a Yankee fan. He said that when he was back with Pittsburgh, I want to say. So we probably could have gotten off a little bit less than what we ended up giving up for him, but
I think we potted about him in Pittsburgh. I think it was, I don't know, I could be wrong. I think we talked about him when he was in Pittsburgh. That would be kind of crazy.
I think we talked about him going to Houston
right
from Pittsburgh, which is funny because we could have traded for him with Pittsburgh. There was an offer on the table, but they wanted fucking Glaber. I want to say they wanted Glaber Torres part of it. And Glaber is probably going to be the best second baseman, or he's going to probably move over to short now that we don't have Didi. So he'll probably be one of the best middle infielders here for the next few years to come. As a young kid, he's already a beast. But yeah, man, that's a great pickup. A lot of money spent, but a great pickup, much needed for the Yankees. To be awesome. But it is still football season.
Yes, sir.
And the Cowboys are still running the NFC East, tied with shitty Philly. Philly has nobody to throw the ball to at this point. I think E's gonna suit up this Sunday.
I might, if they give me the call. I'm looking at my phone, the ring. What's it like? Like, will Antonio Brown be immediately suspended if he comes into the league this year?
No, because remember his case is still pending, so the league hasn't taken action at all on him. What he's got going on is just between him and these different organizations for the most part. The thing with his accuser, actually he's countersuing her for defamation and for lost wages. So yeah, I mean he could probably come back tomorrow and play this Sunday for somebody if he really somebody really wanted to take that chance, which I mean, fuck, You guys are playing for the playoffs, even with a 6-7
Ward.
record, just like
Greg
us.
Ward Jr. is our number one receiver right now.
But he's actually pretty good though.
Who, Greg Ward Jr. off the practice squad?
He's actually pretty good.
I know. I like him. And
I was watching the game yesterday, and I was like, who the fuck?
But he's off the practice squad.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of guys was off the practice squad in some realms, but
this year,
not that motherfucker. I mean, the only reason he didn't get a shot on your roster is because y'all had bum ass Alshon Jeffrey.
Yeah, he's definitely he's gotten under my skin. I mean, he runs like an old man. He's just seems like he's always out of position. He's just, I don't know, man. I don't see the effort. I don't see the effort from that guy, and he's constantly hurt. Constantly fucking hurt.
Alshon's always been hurt, man. Since he was in Chicago, he was injury prone.
South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and shit, I think he's had everything. And at this point, what they're saying they think it possibly is an Achilles. Yeah. He's done. Yeah, he's gonna come back. He's gonna come back next year, get the guaranteed money from you guys, and then take a seat and probably go ahead and retire. It would only make sense at this point.
Yep.
Which, it sucks because he's a big dude, and when he's healthy, he's fucking good. He's just slow as fuck, but he's a big receiver, and that's a huge loss, obviously, for you guys.
Yeah, no one's else really stepped up besides Greg Ward Jr. JT Arcega-Whiteside's just spotty. He's a rookie, so I don't know what you expect from him. But they just need. There's a bunch of veterans out there. They got to pick up somebody. They got Martavius Bryant's out there. You got Pierre Garçon out there. You got Des Bryant out there.
I think Martavis was suspended though. I think Martavis was suspended the whole year. Yeah, for the weed. But yeah, you got Des Bryant. You got AB. You got honestly though, the biggest problem that you guys are gonna have is, and I would assume that maybe this is what your team is doing. They're probably seeing if they can get past Washington this week without it, hoping that the Cowboys take a L to the Rams. And then if that plays out like that and you're up a game, then it would make sense for them to bring a target in against the Cowboys to try and win that game and secure the division and get into the playoffs. Because if you sign somebody today, they're not going to be ready to play Sunday for you guys. So, Jordan Matthews, you guys still have, right? And he's been on.
They got him and then they let him go.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. So it's like, that's what I'm saying. They have one dressed wide receiver right now. Literally, Luke McCown was going to go into that game against the Giants as a wide receiver in one of the sets. They have 4 plays for wide receivers available.
But you guys have 17 tight ends, so
yeah, we had 3 tight. Zach Ertz, he can play wide receiver, and he was playing wide receiver. But the crazy thing is, if they somehow get into the playoffs, they make it into the playoffs, Deshaun Jackson could be available because I think his estimated return was 6 to 8 weeks. So if they get into, they win a wild card game, then he's in.
I think the Redskins are going to win the division.
All right.
I saw some shit where it was there was a possibility for, it's not anymore, but there was a possibility for a 4-way tie. Everybody at 6-10.
If you guys would have lost, yeah.
If we would have lost, there was an actual mathematical way for us to all be 6-10.
Bruh, I don't see the Redskins winning. They just lost Darius Geis.
Haskins is horrible.
Haskins, he's fucking doo-doo.
They lost in Green Bay, where I think Green Bay has been cheating teams all year, honestly. But they got the Eagles on Sunday, who fucking looked horrible. Their offensive line. We're talking about receivers. Their offensive line sucks.
That's Lane Johnson went out, and Peters, he's just. I mean, he's kind of done.
Yeah.
But now you got the left tackle is out. We don't have anything right now. Jordan Howard, he might come back this game. I mean, we got freaking Jay Ajayi out there running some games, and like all these carries went to Bar Scott. Bar Scott is what broke that game open.
Yeah, the only way that I mean, I'm being facetious, but
Yeah,
I mean, honestly, they have to win out, which is I think versus the Eagles and the Giants is highly probable because they're at home, and the Eagles are some shit. The only people standing in their way at that point would be the Cowboys. So if I'm a Cowboys fan, I'm actually hoping that the Redskins win these next two games.
Yeah.
At least this game.
Yeah.
This game is really the big thing because if the Redskins beat the Eagles this week and then the Cowboys beat the Eagles next week, then it's a wrap at that point. Yeah. So for as a Cowboys fan, obviously that's what I hope for, but it's embarrassing because they got all that fucking talent with the shittiest coaching staff, the horrible play call. They really don't deserve to make the fucking playoffs, but I hope, you hope that they can get in like Seattle did that year where Seattle got in at 7-9 and won their first game actually against the Cowboys. And maybe make some noise because if they get healthy and get hot, they can do anything.
Yeah, it's playoffs, man. It's like all you need to do is get in. It's not college. It's not, that any given Sunday is said a lot because it's for real. So, I mean, can Dallas beat, who would be in there? Can Dallas beat the Saints, the 49ers, the,
Vikings.
Packers, the Vikings?
Packers, yeah. The Packers, yeah.
Yeah, I mean they definitely could.
Anybody can beat anybody. Anybody can beat anybody in that. Once it's playoffs, this is a totally different thing. And like you said, you guys have enough talented players, but the problem is your owner signed a deal with the devil, and you'll never win again, ever, as long as he's the owner. Doomed.
Yeah. What about kind of switching gears to your division, EJ? With the Patriots over here and another fucking scandal for these guys.
They're fucking cheaters, man. Like, I mean, at some point you have to acknowledge that they're fucking cheating. Like, I've been somebody who can be objective. I've been somebody who can be very objective when it comes to them. Mm-hmm. But honestly, this is like, I think Bill Belichick, and I had this argument with somebody before, I think Bill Belichick is the best coach to ever grace the field in the NFL. And and somebody was arguing with me, who I was saying I think Tom Brady is the greatest, but they made a valid point. They said Tom Brady has never had to play with anybody else other than Bill Belichick. How do we not know that outside of Bill Belichick, this motherfucker would have been trash? And I said, you're right. But then again, when you look at it, does that mean Bill Belichick has been fucking cheating this entire time? Yo, that's just pretty profound at this point. Nasty.
Yeah.
Bill Belichick is a defensive fucking genius. Like, he's always been able to coach a defense into no matter who's on it. They got fucking construction workers and fucking dudes from the water company suiting up on Sundays to play defense for them, and they were beating people and stuff. So, but yeah, I mean, it comes down to this is the second time now that we're hearing about recording and tapes and shit like that. The first time around they destroyed the tapes, so nobody got to see the tapes. So you don't really know to what extent it was. This one, you actually know what was on the tapes. We haven't seen them, but they fucking put it out there pretty clearly what's on the tapes where they were recording the coordinators. And not only that, on this one, they didn't even fight it. I mean, they came up with a bullshit fucking excuse that they were filming something for a documentary, which it may be true that they were. And they said in Cleveland they got the go ahead to do so,
From
but they
Cleveland.
forgot.
Yeah.
They forgot to do it with get the
Cincinnati.
fuck out of here.
Yo, Woody, what if they were wearing Cleveland gear?
Cincinnati.
No, what if the guys recording were dressed in Cleveland's gear?
You know what I'm saying? Wasn't it the Bengals?
Yeah,
Browns,
but they got
Cincinnati?
the permission from
From
Cleveland.
Cleveland.
What if they were up there in the area when like Cleveland Browns jackets or something like that to disguise that they weren't the Patriots?
And they gave themselves the green light. Oh
Shit
yeah,
is
you
nasty,
get to go.
man. Shit is nasty. Like
Oh my god!
honestly speaking, and being objective, because I gotta go back to the hater side of the fence. Going back to that 01, I think it was 01 AFC Championship in the snow, the tuck rule. Going back to the tuck rule and on.
Yep.
I think this Patriots dynasty, if we're being completely honest, if people aren't afraid of ruffling feathers, you have to say this Patriots dynasty will forever live in infamy because they've always been behind some scandal. From that shit on, you never even got Tom Brady got a whole rule made after him. And they haven't won in the midst. They haven't won without having controversy attached to them.
Right.
They have not won. It's a fact.
And that rule's gone now, right?
No, it's still virtually there.
The tuck rule's still there?
The tuck rule's definitely there.
Yeah. It's changed a little. That's the whole arm coming forward thing. But yeah, and thing about it too, aside from that, when you look at it and you want to ruffle feathers, the whole Patriots dynasty is the equivalent of white privilege, right? And I'm not saying it's white privilege for them. I'm saying when someone mentions white privilege and they're like, this is what white privilege is, if you're putting it into perspective for someone who doesn't understand when you say white privilege, you can say, look at what the Patriots have done in general. And we're not saying the Patriots because they have a white quarterback, a white coach or anything. I'm just saying when you compare it, they have had privilege over multiple other teams, every other team in the league, because any other team that got caught with any of this shit would have been punished to the fucking fullest extent. You know what I mean? Fucking deflating balls, fucking now twice with the fucking tapes. I mean, it's crazy. And then, you got lights going out, equipment not working in their stadium. You got equipment being shipped to different places. Like, it's a lot of shit, man. And as great as Tom Brady is, as great as Bill Belichick is, and as much as I agree with, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. Yeah, there's always gonna be a fucking asterisk in my eyes next to the Patriots. What do you think, E?
Well, real quick, not to mention last season, they had 3 consecutive games where late in the games, touchdowns were reversed against them. So it.
Yeah, they always get it. I'm just still trying to wrap my head around why do you need additional help against the Bengals? Fuck are you taping the Bengals for?
Right.
They're not trying to win. Why would they even do this? I mean, are they that worried about because they look like shit last week? And it's clear that, their offense is not what it can be without Gronk. Like, I think you're starting to really see the difference without Gronkowski out there. You know what I mean? Because people don't have that fear. No one has to double. They don't have a defense doesn't have to double anybody on that team anymore.
Right.
So Sonny Michel's not getting off. So like all these players are not getting off. And Tom Brady's arm. I mean, he's good and all, but I mean, he's still like, what is he, 42? I mean, it's catching up to him, man.
Yeah.
And he was never mobile.
I think they
I just like why would you cheat against the Bengals? Why would you film the freaking Bengals? You can't figure that shit out.
They could very well lose to the Bengals this week. The Bengals got Andy Dalton back. They got the momentum off of beating my bum ass team. Granted, it's my bum ass team, but they're at home. They're playing spoiler. They got every incentive to go out there and crack the Patriots, man. So I mean, Belichick is he's got the pressure on him, especially at this point in time because they're 10-3 behind the Ravens, with Kansas City slowly creeping behind. They fuck around, go from being a second seed to third or fourth seed based on the next couple of weeks. So now you're talking about them having the Foxborough. They're already in jeopardy of losing Foxborough as a safety net at this point. And I don't remember any time other than the early years that they went on the road to do anything. I don't remember. Actually, I could be wrong. I don't know that they won on the road at all. So you're talking about this Patriots team and how much this Bengals win is going to be for them. They need to maintain home field advantage. So I mean, if they can, they got Cincinnati. Then they're in Buffalo. No. They got Buffalo at home, and then they got Miami at home, back to back, which are two games they can't sleep on. So this is pretty crucial for them at this point.
Yeah, I guess so. Still the Bengals. And only shitty teams lose to the Jets too. Just to put that out there.
You lucky our quarterback had a kissing joint versus y'all because we're 3-1 versus the NFC East.
Who did you guys beat?
Well, you also lost to the Dolphins.
No, that didn't happen. Not my world.
Huh? You lost to the Dolphins, which, had you won that game, you'd be leading the division right now.
I know.
So that's big. But yeah, exactly what EJ said. I was thinking the same thing. I know you said, why would you cheat against the Bengals? I don't think it's so much the Bengals that they're cheating against because they want to beat them. I think it's just more to ensure that they have home field advantage because Foxborough is, so pertinent to their success. And we've seen that it's very difficult to go into Foxborough and win. Not only that, they're so comfortable with playing in the conditions that take place in Foxborough. I mean, look at the game against the Cowboys. They had shit. They had nothing, and they end up winning that game. They scored the only touchdown there, whatever. The Cowboys couldn't adjust to the weather, all types of shit, couldn't run the ball, everything. So, yeah, I mean, I think that's the biggest thing is because if they have to go to Baltimore or they have to go to Kansas City, they are going to lose with the team that they have.
Well, look at it this way. If they lose versus the Bengals, right? Let's just throw it against the wall. They lose versus the Bengals. That makes them 10-4. Mm-hmm. Kansas City is sitting at 9-4. They play Denver at home. So you can say that they're going to win. They'll be 10-4, right? They then go to the second seed. So now Baltimore and Kansas City now have home field advantage. You got Houston creeping behind you. You got Buffalo, who has to see the Patriots later. The Patriots could fuck around and wind up being, if things don't go right, if they lose, like it's the Bengals, but any given Sunday, if they lose, they can fuck around and go from second seed to anywhere to fourth or fifth, which is horrible for their team to play on the road. They've got to then play wild card. They don't even play whoever's first and second seed yet. They're playing wild card rounds. They get beat up on the road, and then they got to go into very hostile territory. Now, if I'm them, I'd rather go into Kansas City on the road than Baltimore. I don't think anybody's going to fucking win in Baltimore on the road. I think if Baltimore loses a game, I'm going to go out there. I know I'm a Jets fan. I'll be crazy, but I think tomorrow's their letdown home game. They just lose because they just took us for granted. They went out, had too many drinks, and this is the only fucking loss they're going to have ever again during the season. Because they play in Cleveland and then they play Pittsburgh at home. Not losing that. This would be they'll fuck around and go. They'll fuck around and go. They're 11-2 right now. If I'm by some crazy reason right, they're 11-3. 12. They win 12 at. They'll be 13-3 by the end of the season, which is nuts.
Lamar Jackson's banged up. I don't see the Jets going in and beating them, especially without Le'Veon Bell being fully committed to them. Because this fucking guy sat out Sunday and Saturday night. They said he was spotted in a fucking bowling alley.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think Le'Veon Bell, he's not going to be a Jet next year. I think if there's anyone that's smart enough to go out and get him, it's fucking Bruce Arians. Like Bruce Arians made David Johnson look like fucking Marshall Faulk in Arizona, and now that Arians left, David Johnson looks like shit.
Yeah.
So. I mean, imagine if he was to get a Le'Veon Bell and still have a Chris Godwin, a Mike Evans, and even Jameis Winston with his interceptions, he's still fucking 300 yards a game, 3 to 4 touchdowns a game, maybe 2 to 3 interceptions. But I'm taking 3 to 4 touchdowns and hoping he matures out of that interception rate. And if he has a fucking check down back, he may not throw those interceptions and make those bad decisions.
Yeah.
We're definitely going to trade Le'Veon. We should. I just don't know that Le'Veon's running style is going to fit a lot of teams, but as a receiver, he's definitely fire. Hopefully we get second at best, third at the worst pick for him. As long as we don't touch Jamal Adams, I'm cool.
Yeah, Le'Veon is gone, without a doubt.
That's crazy, then. He just got there.
A big ass contract too.
Mm-hmm.
They gave that motherfucker a big ass contract, which is, I mean, that's that holdout shit, man. And these teams are falling for it, and then these guys are coming back. And it's different if you hold out. Like, I mean, next year you're gonna have Melvin Gordon, who's gonna be on the move.
Yep.
I think Le'Veon Bell will be on the move. I mean, it's gonna be fucking interesting. You got, shit, we end up paying fucking Zeke, and look, he's, although he's having a decent year, it's still a slumped year. I mean, he's at 1,000 yards already, but it's still, we're 6-7 because he can't fucking get his shit together. He can't he couldn't get the he couldn't get 1 yard, when we fucking needed it. Where past seasons we were saying, if you're anything less than 3 yards or less than 4 yards, you're giving it to Zeke.
Right. And everybody knew it.
Yeah, and now he can't get 1 or 2 yards. I mean, obviously there's a lot more to it, and but yeah, I think again, back to the holdouts, and we've said it on multiple occasions. We can be for the athletes, but the teams are getting screwed in these situations. The Jets are going to get fucked big time in this Le'Veon deal, unless for some fucking reason he decides he's going to mature, or they find somebody who's willing to take on that whole contract and not have them pay off a portion of it as part of a trade.
I think his contract is it's definitely up there, but I think there are some teams desperate, especially desperate teams at the bottom end, that will pay for his ability, because we got to remember, right? We always talk about how smart people believe they know everything. Mm-hmm. There is a coordinator out there that believes that no matter what, they're going to get the maximum production out of which they may. I think the Jets can move him pretty easily. I'm pretty confident in that. And even if we don't, he has a player option at some point, and I think we can get stuff out of him, but I think we move him. I think we definitely move him.
I see like Atlanta, maybe like Houston. Atlanta would probably pay for him. I think Freeman's done.
Yeah, absolutely. Freeman's over. That's a thing of the past. Houston sounds good, but I don't know. I don't know if they can afford him. They got a lot of fucking money tied up over there.
Yeah. So did they pay Watson yet? Is he paid? Or is he still he's not on his rookie contract still, is he?
Well, remember, they gave J.J. Watt that huge contract. They didn't pay fucking Clowney, I think, in anticipation of having to pay Deshaun.
Right. They got Clowney's contract from Seattle, but yeah.
Gotcha.
I mean, somebody like Arizona could take Le'Veon, no problem.
Yeah. I think obviously they're gonna want to get him somewhere where or someone's gonna want to make the trade that they're going to be able, like you said, to get the maximum potential out of him, and he's going to want to play, right? I mean, is he going to want to go to Arizona? And now Larry Fitzgerald's on his way out. You're running with a young Christian Kirk who's pretty decent. Their defense looks like shit. Patrick Peterson starts to look like a thing of the past. Maybe he ends up in fucking Detroit or something. Kerryon Johnson is hurt. With Matt Stafford, who can hit him out of the backfield really well. I think he's got options. I think the Jets will find a suitor, absolutely, and make it happen.
So, talking about that, going forward, what do you guys think of talking about quarterback play, right? Eagles fans, I'm watching my timeline. Fuck Wentz, bench Wentz. Anybody can throw it. He's trash. Blah blah blah. Then he has the late comeback. Wentz is the GOAT. I'm like, Jesus. And then Dak hasn't been paid. And then you guys know how I feel about Darnold. What do you guys think about your quarterbacks going forward?
I would say that Dak Prescott should get paid. I mean, no matter how this season ends up. I mean, it clearly isn't him. He's got weapons around him. I think he's definitely impressed me this season. He's moving in the right direction. The play calling is, I think, too pass heavy at times, but that's what you get when you get a coordinator that is a backup quarterback. So, I mean, that's just...
And a coach that was a backup quarterback.
Yep, exactly. So, I mean, that's just the way it's going to be. But even though the league is coming that way, I mean, people can just say that all they fucking want. But what I know is the run sets up the pass. That's the most effective way to win in football. The run sets up the pass, especially in December and January. Is just nobody wants to freaking tackle anymore. You know what I mean? So if you just start pounding the ball now, you're pretty much guaranteeing that you're going to win. He's I think he's just being loyal to a fault, though. I mean, he's towed the company line and trying to be a leader and everything. But I mean, how much is this guy going to, how much is he going to stand, put up with?
You talking about Dak or West?
Yeah. No, Dak.
It's Dak. Okay.
Yeah. Wentz is clear to me. I'm going to tell you guys, I mean, I see, so we were coming out of the Miami game, and I heard this dumbass chick, Eagles fan, say, see, we should have Foles, right? So I'm talking to Lisa's cousin in front of me, and I'm hearing this stuff, and I'm real loud, and I'm like, wow, I guess people don't even realize that Nick Foles just got benched today for Minshew. Yeah, I'm like, or that he's already missed 5 games due to shoulder injury from first game of the season, because Wentz is injury prone, and we're in week 15, 14,
Yep.
and he's not been out for injury this year. It's, I don't know. I swear some Eagles fans maybe only watch Eagles games and don't see other football and have no comparison at all. Their expectations are all fucked up and jacked up, or they're just completely oblivious to again, name 3 players on your fantasy league that are wide receivers in the Giants game. On the Eagles, give me 3. So he's got Zach Ertz and Dallas Goedert. That's about it. 2 tight ends. That's the only wide receivers you have. He's what did I say in our chat? The team has yet to play. The starters have yet to play a freaking game. And other also on the Miami game, you mean to fucking tell me that 31 points doesn't fucking beat the Dolphins? Like, you mean to tell me that, oh, yo, listen, we're going to have to score more than 31 points to beat the Dolphins this game, just to let you know. That fucking defense was ridiculous. It was one person. It was Parker. I'm like, put 4 people on the fucking guy. He was the only person catching the ball. It's Jim Schwartz, man. His defense is so predictable. It's ridiculous.
But your offense, I mean, I don't even see how the Giants lost yesterday because your offense couldn't block. Your offensive line had double teams on people, and they were just getting by. Like, I was struggling with these guys, and their record definitely reflects who they are.
Yeah, the Giants just ran out of fucking fuel. Eli's age showed. He was great early, and then come after halftime, he looked like shit. He couldn't make the right decisions. He was missing wide open passes when you guys were blitzing. And they should. There's no reason the Giants should have lost that game. I mean, as bad as the Eagles were fucking hurt, as
3 quarters.
As bad
3
as
quarters, man. They came out of the half. It was like punt, 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 punt. It was like, oh my god.
It was disgusting, and it was just stupid. But to your question, EJ, I think I mean Dak has to get paid, right? His decision making needs to go up a little bit. He needs to not be afraid, right? And I think once he gets his contract, if he's smart at that point, he changes his whole frame of his thought pattern.
Yeah,
and he's just like, listen, I'm gonna make the fucking calls out there. I'm gonna fucking check out of shit. And if I see it's necessary for me to run, I'm going to run, period. You've now invested however much money, however many years into me, and I don't have to worry about, all right, if I fucking make a bad decision, will they give me a hard time and either not sign me or fucking, lowball me or whatever the case may be on some Jerry shit. So I think the best is yet to come for him. I also think Carson Wentz, the best is yet to come. I initially thought that he'd be playing for his job throughout the remainder of this season. And then I started to think about the fact that he got paid. That slipped my mind for a second. And so there's no way for them not to fucking play him, moving forward. But they also have to understand, and looking at, like E said, you have to understand that he doesn't have the weapons that he needs. They don't have a running game. And like I said in the chat, when we were talking about it, as a team, they didn't go out and try to make anything. They didn't fucking bring in a running back. You guys, from the beginning of the season, they should have went out and tried to get a running back. They did not do that throughout the season.
Man, Emmanuel Sanders was perfect for us. And I was like, when I saw him get traded, I was like, fuck.
Yeah,
I knew we weren't going to do shit. As soon as I saw him go, as soon as I saw Emmanuel Sanders get picked up, I'm like, well, I guess we just rolling with what the fuck we got.
Yeah, Sanders was a good move. I mean, they should have fucking tried to. They should have been aggressive with the Bengals to get AJ Green for at least the remainder of the season. At least the remainder of the season.
I told you he wasn't gonna play again. That guy. If I'm a team, I'm not touching him, man. I'm not. He's yet to play a full season.
But AJ's not sitting out at this point due to injury. They're saying injury.
Yeah, I know.
But I think it's contract negotiation, right? And he's just gonna play that game. Like, why would I? I mean, they have no chance of doing shit. Why would I go out there and even try to be hurt?
They're winning, but his thing, he's always been hurt though. Mm-hmm. It's like I would never spend any money on him.
Yeah, but they, like I said, they could have got him for the remainder.
Money on that lap dance, though, wouldn't
you? Not from AJ They could have went out and got him. I mean, there was so many opportunities for them to try and make moves to get better, and they're not doing it. They're not putting it around Wentz, and fortunately, I think for Doug Peterson, that may save his job, that he's going to be able to go into the meetings and be like, I ain't got dick around me. I got a quarterback with no fucking targets. I got fucking a makeshift running game with,
Banged up O line.
Yeah, who knows who's gonna do what? I got fucking a bunch of old men on my lines, in offensive line and defensive line. I got a secondary that's, they're doing their best, but they can't make it happen. And then the same token, it's the same thing with the Cowboys. Cowboys are going out and they're spending these early draft picks on these secondary guys. And they went and they talked to the Jets. The Jets were asking for way too much for what they had to offer. But I mean, there's other guys out there. There's older guys, like somebody like a Pat Peterson, or like a fucking what's the dude's name that played for Baltimore? EJ, that you said you didn't. Oh, Eric Weddle, like a Eric Weddle, somebody, a OG like that can come in and just mold, because they were so good in college, these young kids that we have on our secondary, but they don't have anybody to fucking mold them. They had a fucking Brandon Carr there for a year or so, and then after that they had nobody. They had nobody that's gonna mold them, that's gonna teach them how to do well. They brought in Chris Richard, who he's doing his best with them from a coaching standpoint. But you're only going to get so much from a coach. You need someone who's played the position or who's actively out there on the field, who can say, hey, this is what you're looking at. Hey, on that last fucking play, you missed this, and that's kind of how you got burnt, or whatever the fuck is. And we just don't have it. We have the young talent, and we don't have the guys in our secondary. But we did have it at linebacker, and you see how that's paying off. We had a Sean Lee to fucking make a Jalen Smith and a Van Der Esch into the fucking beast that they are. Granted, they were good coming out of college. Jalen being fucking probably one of the best linebackers to come out of college in a very long time, even considering the injury. But you still have to get up to game speed at the big level, and the molding of a veteran is completely necessary. And we're missing it on defense, and you guys are missing it on offense.
Yeah, and the fact Dak hasn't been paid yet pisses me off. Answering my question related to Sam Darnold, I think the kid is stupid. I've never liked him. I always wanted Josh Allen, because he just makes boneheaded decisions, man. And I can't blame Gase. I just hope that it gets better before it gets worse, and we'll see. But I think he's full of shit. I think the kid's full of shit.
Sam Darnold?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you see flashes from him. I mean, that's the thing, is like with Sam Darnold, you see flashes. I see flashes from Sam Darnold of Jared Goff. I see flashes from Sam Darnold of Carson Wentz in his second year. Is Carson Wentz a better quarterback today than Darnold? I think so.
Absolutely.
I think Jared Goff is. But the quarterback whisperer of a coach that you guys have clearly is not the quarterback whisperer everybody thought he was. It was just
he was whispering some bullshit.
He thought it himself. Who the hell thought that?
It's just possible that Jay Cutler was a good quarterback, and he had fucking Matt Forte.
Cutler, shit quarterback. Never go down as a shit quarterback in history.
No, I don't know. These guys have their 1 year. Where they do some outside the box shit, and then everybody just catches up. Because I mean, you see that Sean McVay was the next hot thing and shit like that. They're struggling now. I mean, they're still in playoff hunt. They can still win that division, but he's had to kind of, when you look at it, he's kind of come back to the basics instead of this out of the box stuff, because defensive coordinators catch up to you, man, in this league.
They go as Gurley goes, and the Gurley injury is a huge one for them. But also, Jared Goff is shit. I mean, Jared Goff is not as good. He's not playing nearly as good as he was last year.
No.
But of course, like you said, and I think that's the biggest thing. The run opens up the pass, and if you have that extra safety, that's playing back instead of trying to stay up for the run, then it's going to make it hard on young quarterbacks like him. And, the biggest thing, to EJ's point with Dak not getting paid, if for some reason we slip and don't make the playoffs this year, that's going to take off a lot of money off of his contract, a lot of it. And they're going to,
he's as incentives.
Right. They're going to use that as a fucking way to lowball the shit out of him. That's just how Jerry Jones is, which is bullshit, but
So if you guys make the playoffs and win a game, like what does what's his name have to do? Gerrit have to do? He has to make it all the way to the conference championship, right? And then they might find.
No, he has to make it to the Super Bowl.
He has to make it to the Super Bowl.
Yep. I don't think if we don't make it to the Super Bowl, he's gone no matter what. And I'm hard pressed to say if we don't win it, I think he's gone. And I think even if we do win it, he should be gone. Because I think if we win it at this point, it's not because of him. I think at this point it's because the team came together and decided to buckle the fuck down and play the game. And decisions have been made that you got to make the best. Listen, if Jason Garrett was a goddamn man, he would go against Jerry Jones and fire fucking our fucking offensive coordinator, and I can't think of his name off the top. Kellen Moore, rather.
Yeah.
Because he's the one that's calling these plays, and he calls a great first drive every fucking game. We get out there, we run up the fucking field. Zeke gets 50 yards on the first fucking drive, and then ends the game with 90 yards. You know what I mean? It's always like, dude, what are you fucking doing? And that's the only way Garrett had any chance. But like I said, I told you guys after week 3, they should have fired him and put Chris Richard in. And if Richard was our guy, then you would have known by the end of the season. Now you don't know. And, if you do get rid of Garrett, you could potentially end up losing Richard either way to another team who wants him as a coach.
You guys want to make a bet?
What's your bet?
Go into next year?
I think you owe a lot of bets at this point.
No. So, you guys want to make a bet? I think that he goes to the Giants next year.
Who's that?
Garrett.
They've already said they're interested in him.
Did they say that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was out there. That was out there or maybe it was it was them. It was the Giants. I think it was the Giants. It was either the Giants or the Redskins. One of the two teams in the division were saying that they were interested in Jason Garrett.
I'd be happy for him to stay in the division. I love him in our division.
Yeah, he's just got to go, man. He's terrible. He's terrible.
What are you eating over there, man?
Salmon.
Salmon.
Salmon or a sandwich?
Salmon. The fish.
Get the fish breath.
Gefilte
Who
fish.
gonna eat fucking salmon at 10:30 at night, yo? Cold ass.
Yeah, hungry, man.
Straight off the docks in Baltimore.
Well, we know who it wasn't. Because he got off the phone with that person. Huh? Whatever. Yeah. So what else, man? I don't think there's much going on. We don't have VP around to tell us what's going on with this impeachment.
Well, the articles have been brought against him, making him the 4th president in history for the articles to be formally brought against him.
Really?
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
Not surprised.
Shocker.
He's still gonna find a way.
To me, it was just imperative that they did that the House did it. Whether the Senate ousts him, whether the Senate removes him, votes to remove him, I never thought that they would do that, but I think it was imperative that he got impeached and just has that stain on it. Because, I mean, in all honesty, you have to set precedents. I don't care. It shouldn't have been a partisan thing because the dude was just, obviously wrong. You can't, solicit a foreign government to help your political campaign. And, if they didn't impeach him for that, then they just would open the floodgates up for any president going forward.
Right.
That they would really be above the law. So whatever. The Senate's not like it's kind of weird. The Senate's not like to my view is the House. The House has more like hardcore partisan members than the Senate. You know what I mean? The House is like more district related. You know, they can just like go hardcore and say crazy stuff and just be like locked in. You know, like the Republicans were. The Senate's a little different. They have a broader area to basically that they represent, so they have to be a little more moderate. So I don't think any Senate members are going to flip. But if this guy, like, I don't know what kind of defense they're going to try to put up, he's going to try to put up. But I mean, I think he's so delusional. He still doesn't think he done anything wrong, and I think he's just going to admit that some way, somehow. I think he's just going to basically give the case away. I think he's just going to admit what the hell he did, or someone's going to slip. Someone's going to do something, or someone's going to give him up. Maybe Giuliani does. I don't know.
Well, why would you? Why would you have to feel like you have anything to give up? He's been the Teflon president as far as we know. He said and done whatever he wants, man. It's fucking crazy.
That's what I think. That's why I think he's gonna. I think he's just so used to doing that. You know, it's just like a bank robber that's robbed like 100 banks and like, yeah, man, the 101st bank, this nigga get caught.
No problem. I made a mistake. It is what it is. Yeah. It's nasty, man. It's super nasty.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see him getting removed.
I don't think it'll happen, but I mean, it'll be interesting though. I think it'll hurt his campaign. I don't believe any of this crap that people are like, oh no, it's going to help him. I'm like,
it's not going to help him. No. It should hurt his campaign.
It will hurt his campaign. It will not help his campaign. The people that are locked in with him, there's still only one vote. So you could be more locked in with him, but if you're locked in with him, then who to care? Like who you don't matter. As far as in my eyes, you don't even matter. You just like you're obviously got blinders on, or you're an idiot, or you're just a hateful person. Or you're just stupid. So I mean, I'm not even considering those people. I'm just talking about there's some people that I'm talking about the people that don't really like the president, but dislike Democrats.
Oh, right. Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about. Those people might
Republicans because they know he's a fucking dick. I mean, and they just
But I mean, some of those people voted and didn't like him. I wonder how many of those same people would do that again. You know, how many people are going to vote against the Democrats?
They're also 90% of the time white and privileged. So while they don't like him, they like the ideals and the benefit of the country and the culture that he's created.
No.
It's a fact. You've had more women. Think about it this way. We've had more women in public situations that have exhibited more racial denigration or violence or whatever than a long time. It's been more white women that's being caught doing a lot more shit more virally because this is how they feel. And 50% of them voted for him. You know, the true colors are coming out.
So
salmon's coming out too. You all right? You all like sound like you burping and shit.
Oh no, I didn't burp. Okay.
I think I think like E said, it is going to impact. However,
he's like
he got GERD.
You'll see.
However, I do think it doesn't hurt him as much as we think, and partially I think it's specifically because you're not seeing the coverage like you did when like Bill Clinton got impeached. Dog, that shit was all over the place, like all over the place, and we didn't even have the fucking interwebs like that, you
That's
know.
because it was like a scandal. That's why people were tuned to that because it was about sex. That was why people. I mean, no one's like caring about Ukraine. Like where the hell is that? And like what are we doing? Giving them money and all that
Right.
stuff. They're just like I don't. I think there's just some people that just not that disconnected with how bad it is what he did. But then people it's like, oh, what? He got a blowjob and what? People were just like it was like a TMZ thing.
Cheated on his wife. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You guys see The Irishman? Did you guys watch The Irishman?
No, I keep hearing about it. I hear mixed reviews.
On
I hear it's slow.
Netflix. It is slow.
It is, but it's not. Like it's slow, but it's not like slow. Like it's not like Breaking Bad slow. You love Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad is overrated to me. I'm with you on that, Steve. It's slow as fucking unbelievable. The Irishman, though, it's 30 years too late, man. Why did they deprive us? Why?
Yeah, I mean them being older, trying to play the younger roles is they're a step slow. Like when Robert De Niro went, there was a scene where Robert. Well, no, there's no spoiler. There's a scene where Robert De Niro ends up fucking somebody up, and
that shit looks ridiculous. It's like he's like yo, he's mad old geriatric like
the old man strength.
It's horrible. Like that part was horrible, bro.
Yeah, I hated it. I hated that part. I hated, but I think the movie was good. I think it's it's a play, not a play, but it's similar to what we grew up on with Goodfellas, Casino, and shit like that, which is phenomenal. But the one thing that I love about it is we finally got to see a movie where Robert De Niro, Pesci, and Pacino were actually on set together, and it wasn't like patchwork. And Pacino, by far, eons beyond these guys as far as acting. He is by far the best actor out of those three guys.
No doubt about it.
Pacino is a fucking man. Like watching this dude play Hoffa, holy shit.
And the crazy part is about it that I actually didn't like is that we had an iconic Hoffa movie, which this movie slowly became a Hoffa movie.
Mm-hmm.
Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, that movie was tight.
Jack Nicholson was fucking Hoffa, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was tight.
But Pacino, man, out of all of those guys and acting chops, going back to Pacino, come on, man. Pacino and De Niro, they've been friends for 50 years.
Like Pacino was better than De Niro?
Yes.
Because De Niro's got like a lot of range, man.
Pacino
has a lot of range.
Taxi Driver, remember Taxi Driver?
Pacino made you think he was fucking blind.
Made you think he was Cuban. Made you think he was Cuban.
And Cuban.
If you didn't watch The Godfather. But De Niro and him have been linked.
Puerto Rican.
Exactly. De Niro and him have been linked for over 5 decades, right?
Mm-hmm.
They started in the same movie franchise. Only the difference that Pacino was in Godfather 1 and then Godfather 2. De Niro then plays his father, right?
Yep.
But going back to his iconic role of Godfather, I mean, that alone, man. And then Serpico. And then, I mean, on and on. His range of acting, Scarface. I mean, everything Pacino has done. I think De Niro has always had the natural ability of acting because he is a hood guy. If you know he's from Lower Manhattan, he's just a hood guy.
Yeah.
And a lot of this shit is just natural to him. Pacino is the actual thespian that really does that shit, man. And it, like Steve said, it's clear. It's just clear to see the difference, but it's also epic to see these guys on, like him, Pesci, and De Niro on screen. It's just, I feel robbed, man. I really do. I really feel like this shit should have happened 30 years ago. You got Casino, you know, you got.
They weren't technically on set together for Heat, right? That conversation they have at the diner, they weren't like in front of each other having that. I think that's what was reported.
But even in that was still 6 or 7 years. You got to think 90s. You got Casino.
That was the last time you saw Val Kilmer. Basically, he was in Heat.
Yeah,
You see that nigga since.
You got De Niro and Pesci in Casino, and then Goodfellas is just a Pesci movement with De Niro.
Yeah.
But you know, Pacino is doing his thing in so many other areas, man. But can you imagine in 1990 if we get an original mobster film from them
together?
Christ, we've been robbed.
I loved it. I love The Irishman. And the funny part about it, like EJ said, is it became a Hoffa movie, and we didn't get introduced until halfway through the movie to Pacino. And Pacino stole the fucking show. Like, he's so believable in that movie. He's so believable in all of his roles. Like, he did a great job. The movie is excellent. You probably still haven't even watched fucking
When They See Us,
Central Park. Yeah, because you're a piece of shit and you don't care about
you don't care about black people.
You don't care about us. But I doubt that you're gonna get 3.5 hours to sit down and watch this movie.
Oh man, I got I don't have a lot of time to watch anything, man. Maybe over the holiday break I'll have some time to do something.
That's part of my plan. So I actually was off. I watched it on my birthday. We had a Christmas party for the wife's company, and it was away, so I was at a hotel, and she had a meeting, so I watched it over there. Ordered some breakfast, Uber Eats breakfast, and watched that. It was worth it, but yeah, I'm off this holiday season as well, from the 22nd to the 31st. So I plan on catching up on a lot of shit. Probably gonna watch some Boy Meets World on Disney Plus.
Watch, if you haven't watched. Did we ever talk about Top Boy on this? Do we ever talk about Top Boy on Netflix?
Top Boy.
So Top Boy is English, I guess an English production, but it's set in England, and it's basically like drug dealer, The Wire type scenario. You got these two guys in England. So there's two different series. The first series that came out in 2011 is Summer House. That shows you the rise and the fall of these two drug dealers.
Mm-hmm.
And a new series just came out of Top Boy. And it's pretty captivating, man, just to watch the drug scene in London. And it's pretty cool. I liked it. You know, you might like it.
Was it a movie or is it a series?
Yeah, it's a series. Top Boy. I liked it. That's another recommendation of mine.
Can you watch Top Boy without watching the other one that you said, Summer?
You totally can, because I didn't watch Summer House. I remember when Summer House first came out, and I was just like, I'm not gonna lie, the accents. I was like, man, what the fuck is this? And I didn't watch it, so I watched this one first, and I was like, oh, okay. I was addicted, and then I went back and I started watching Summer House a little bit more to kind of see where it was going. But it was very realistic to me in some ways, and very eye opening to that culture of being in London, you know, which is cool. So yeah,
I have to check that out.
Y'all see this Lizzo nonsense?
E, did you see it? Because I saw it today.
No.
I heard about it, but I didn't really know what it was. I hadn't seen it, and so I looked it up today on the Instagram. And Yeah, she is mentally unstable.
Like, what'd she do?
Don't worry, I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the chat while EJ gives us his take on.
Oh, okay.
So Lizzo, so basically, as it's getting loaded into the chat, Lizzo, she's probably Grammy nominated by now. I've criticized her because I just think her songs are trash. I don't think she uses her talent because she can actually sing, but her lyrics and her songs are kind of whack to me. But Lizzo goes to a Lakers game, basically has a skirt, or a top of some kind that has her entire ass exposed, and she doesn't have anything on but a thong. And during some type of intermission or timeout of a Lakers game, she decides to get up. She's courtside, decides to get up, turn around as she's on the jumbotron and shake her ass to where her thong and her butt is exposed. And the biggest thing, the discussion is now, because Lizzo has been a big advocate of being a plus size woman for a long time since she's been out. But the thing that people are saying now is just like, yo, there's a difference between having some pride and being a plus size woman versus walking around with your ass out, which is just not cool.
Right.
And I thought it was trash. I thought it was stupid. Like, you're walking around the Staples Center with your ass out. You're sitting on courtside seats. You're sitting in the Staples Center with your ass out, bro. Like, nobody wants. It doesn't matter if you're 200 pounds or you're 102 pounds. Most times, and I said it like this. I said it like this, man. If she was dressed that way around my way, people wouldn't be asking how she's doing. They asking her how much, and that's just what it looked like to me,
Yeah, and I hate it that people try to make it about individuals' lack of sensitivity for big girls and etc. 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 Where it's not just that. I mean, man, that's part of it.
Who would that be acceptable for? Like,
It's
nobody.
And that's the thing. It's not acceptable to be like, she's not at the beach. You know what I mean? She's not at the beach. She's not. Part of it though is it did look bad. Like, granted, it's not people are saying it looked bad because she's a bigger girl. It just did. Like, a fucking spade is a spade. You know what I'm saying? You call a spade, and whether she was big or small, even if it was a small girl and her ass looked like that, it was a bad look. You know what I mean? And then, of course, there's always the moral part of it is, you're at a fucking sporting event, at a family event where there could be children, where there could be, there could be a lot of people, a lot of individuals in there that can be offended. And, as you expect people to be sensitive to you and your feelings and your ability to express yourself, you should be sensitive and be mindful of those individuals as well, as far as I'm concerned.
I don't, again, if there's a time and a place for everything. You're walking around, it's not as though she had a dress or tights or a skirt or something in her butt slipped out, or she's twerking. It's not the twerking. You're walking around with this shirt that literally has your ass cut out, and you have a thong on. No, any woman, any black woman, any woman, they're gonna be looking at her like, tramp. We see this shit on the daily, man. It's acceptable in the strip club, but at a sporting event, you walking around LA like that? Come on, man. That shit's crazy.
And that's the other part about it. Have some fucking self-respect. Have some self-respect for yourself. Have some respect for the culture. Being a black woman and understanding how difficult it is and how difficult it has been to, number one, to be successful and black in America in general, but then also being a woman on top of it. You just have to present yourself in a better light. And it's piss poor that she did that. she's either mentally unstable or it was a publicity stunt. And whichever it was, she needs fucking help. She either needs someone in her corner to tell her that's not the type of publicity that you want, or someone in her corner to say, hey, we need to get you into a fucking get you some help and get you someone to talk.
But-
So I saw it right before my phone died. I like clicked the thing, and my phone like literally died when I hit play. But I got to see what that was. Like, how did you mean to tell me she made it all the way from her house to that seat and nobody stopped her from doing like that? I thought it was like I thought you guys were saying this. It was like a short dress and like the bottom was out. It was cut out in a complete the complete fast. And I was like,
Right.
what? How did she make it that far? How is that even allowed to come through the door?
That's part of it too. I mean, if
Right.
I'm a family person, I'm bringing my child. Let's say a fucking 8, 9-year-old
Security,
kid.
like, no.
I have a problem with that. I'm fucking getting in contact with the Staples Center immediately, and someone has to be held accountable. Someone needs to be held accountable for allowing that to go through. Like, even if it was Kylie Jenner, which, don't get me wrong, I would love to see Kylie Jenner in that in that outfit. It's it's the principle. It's the principle of where she was at that time, and it was poor taste.
She made it past several security guards with that outfit.
Well,
And there's extra security guards when you go that low.
She's courtside, so she's Lizzo. They know the execs that are involved. She's probably, I don't know who those guys are sitting next to her, but she knows them. They're probably execs. This is a money stunt and all of that, be as it may, man. But here's the problem, man. Society is allowing us to raise our children. When people can look at this and say, y'all shaming her because she's big, and not see that, no, bro, this is inappropriate. This is not what children should be looking at. Well, kids should be able to see that. It shouldn't be a problem. No, that's bullshit. We as parents and people have been raised old school. Whereas do as I say, not as I've done. Shut your ass up before I give you something to cry about. We missing that. Society is allowing us to believe that everything is acceptable. Everything is not acceptable. I don't have to like everything that you do. I don't have to think that everything's okay. I don't have to think that you walking around half of LA with your ass out is good for anything. And like Steve said, you're not representing the culture. You out here twerking and you acting crazy. Cardi B, who was a stripper, who's made her bones off of saying I've done X, Y, Z, PDQ. She ain't doing that shit, man. It's just like, and then when you looking at her, she looks at somebody like Steve said, she looks like somebody who's trying to vie for attention, and it looks sick, man. I feel bad. Like, you look crazy. You look crazy, man.
She's gonna regret that later in life, and that's out there forever.
She might already be regretting it.
Yeah.
She might already be regretting it. But yeah, I don't know, man. We'll see. So, all right. So tomorrow night, EJ, you said you think the Jets are going to upset Baltimore. I'm not sure what the spread is. Let's make a pick on that. Let's talk about a quick pick on that for each of us. I'm going to look up the spread. What are we? It's week 15, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm pretty sure, and it's in Baltimore.
Yeah.
Oh shit! They probably giving them. What do you guys, if you had to guess off the top of your head without
We're gonna get killed. They're giving us at least they got a 7-point spread.
10.
I guarantee it.
I think 10 and 10.5.
I think it's 10 and a half.
Yeah.
Let's find out. Where are we?
14.5 favorite. Jesus Christ.
With the injury, damn.
14 and a half.
14 and a half.
Isn't Mark Andrews injured too?
Aha.
Is he?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if he's gonna play. He's on a short week, but it's a quad for Lamar, and Mark Andrews was hurt. I mean, Hunter Hurst they still got Hurst who could potentially do some work there.
But if I'm John Harbaugh, I'm looking at it like I sit Lamar, because it's gonna be a physical game regardless. I sit Lamar. I see what Robert Griffin has. We might.
Oh, is that the backup? I forgot. Damn.
Yeah, we might. If Robert Griffin plays, we gonna win. But that's it. That's the only way. Only way. That team is clicking on all cylinders, man. And Sam Darnold's just an idiot. Like Sam Darnold's a stupid quarterback, man. He's just stupid. I don't like Sam Darnold. I never did. I always thought we should have drafted Josh Allen, even though Josh Allen is racist. I just don't think Sam Darnold's a smart quarterback. And I actually started, as the season goes on, I actually started to feel bad for Gates because, I've been so frustrated. If you watch the games, right, this guy has if you go through progressions, you go first, second, third, down, down, down. This motherfucker will go first. You already know within the first 7 yards, your guy's pretty covered up, and based on what it's going to be, He comes down to the check down, and this motherfucker doesn't even check down. And motherfuckers be open for like 10 yards. And then you're trying to squeeze in the pass 7 yards, 15 yards downfield, double coverage, and then this interception. Hadn't he thrown an interception versus Miami this Sunday, it wouldn't have been as close as a game. I just don't like this kid. And people are like, well, he's 22 years old. Lamar Jackson's 22 years old. And granted, Greg Roman as an OC obviously deserves a lot of credit because he did this with Kaepernick. But Lamar Jackson, I said this before, say it again, this guy has been focused since the offseason. He's made an effort, and he's made a conscious effort to not turn the ball over. Sam Darnold, however, has the fucking Brett Favre syndrome. Let me be the cowboy. My arm is better than anybody's. And it's pissing me off. I'm done. I'm done with him. I hope I'm wrong, but, I just told somebody today I would sign Eli as a backup because I'm pretty sure Sam Darnold is going to find a way to fuck himself out of getting hurt or rather fuck himself and getting hurt. Something.
Or another disease.
Right.
Wow. It says Lamar Jackson is starting.
Fuck.
Yeah, it says Lamar Jackson is starting tomorrow. Andrews is still
cutting ankles.
a questionable, but I mean, he was a full participant in practice. I'm pretty sure Lamar Jackson's going to get out there. However, I mean, at 14 and a half right now, it might not be horrible to take the Jets.
You see, he's like doing crossovers with football, man. It's crazy. He's like crossing people over in the backfield, like.
But if he's not 100%, I mean, there's still an opportunity there for them to.
They still you know what? They still need home field advantage.
Mm-hmm.
They still gonna ball out. They're not gonna start no Robert Griffin third.
No, they're gonna start him. They're starting Lamar Jackson,
and they are going to play to win quickly. So they might try to bury the Jets.
And they very much will. I mean, we have some threats. If Jamal Adams plays tomorrow, it'll make a difference. It'll be more exciting. And another thing is the defense. The corners are still questionable, but Sam Darnold just does not do well against the rush. He does not do well, period. You know what? If they prove me wrong tomorrow, so be it. And I'm not even talking about just winning the game. I just want to see them compete. I want to see some progression. But if he proves me wrong, so be it. I'm going to be out. I'm going to be watching. It'll be here. I'm going to get it in. Man, it's fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if the Jets. I don't think the Jets win the game. Number one, yeah, I think it's possible they could cover 14.5. I think the only way Baltimore wins by that, they cover the 14.5, is if they have a defensive score, which is highly possible. But I think if Darnold protects the ball and doesn't throw an interception, I think they win by 10, maybe even 13 on a field goal. But yeah. What about you, E? I think it sounded like you were going Baltimore to cover.
Man, I would stay away from that game, man. I can't. I mean, it's still they need to win, and I see that they could try to bury him, but the injury was real. Even though he's going to start, it's a Thursday night game, so that injury just happened. So I don't know, man. They might try to run a game plan that grinds the whole game out. You know what I mean? So they might, just do it just straight run game without him even really trying to run.
We got one of the best rush defenses though, and the thing that makes this game it makes it tough, but it makes it easier for us. Their wide receivers on the outside, while they've got Snead and I forget who else, he doesn't throw to them very well. And if we can pressure him, we might make this an ugly game. We ain't got shit to lose. So, it's really going to be what the Jets locker room has hope to play
14
for.
and a half is a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
If I'm a Jets
coach,
if I'm a Jets coach, I'm letting them know that, hey, think about it this way. If Sam Darnold doesn't have fucking mono, we're talking about a wild card team right now. Possibly.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly.
Mm-hmm.
With some pride.
Well, you have to. I mean, yeah. Do you think you would have like the same record as the freaking Steelers of all fucking teams?
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, I would think so.
Steelers are what 8-5,
Mm-hmm.
8-6 or something like that. I don't know.
It's possible. The Jets might have snuck in the back door. Because they came out hot the first week. And the schedule wasn't that difficult. They probably could have beat up on Buffalo the first game, which is not.
Well, we should have beat Buffalo the first game.
Mm-hmm. So.
And then against the Browns, we don't have Sam Darnold. Against the Patriots, no. I think Sam Darnold is out by week 3. So we don't have him against the Eagles, which would get killed. He comes back and we beat the Cowboys. Right? Then he gets killed. He sees ghosts versus the Patriots again. So, yeah, I don't know. Jaguars game, we were up. Dolphins game, we were up. Yeah. Couple games.
Yeah. Yep.
But I think we get killed tomorrow night, though.
We'll see. All right. So I think first week back. It's a good move. Feels good. Feels good to pod. No VP this fine eve, so I think one of you guys want to do the honors.
Or is it?
He fell at Buffalo.
That's not nice.
He fell again at Buffalo.
Mark.
Oh man. Shit. Oh well. Shout out to the fantasy football runnings, huh? Talk about it. I'm out the playoffs.
Monks got a big one against Dave's team.
What's that
this week? Pound for pound versus the Monks, and who you got? Mark. I cannot believe that Mark is one of 4 teams remaining after that draft, because he was so drunk, and I thought we took advantage of him to the point where he was just going to do horrible, but somehow VP and EJ managed to do worse than that guy.
I know where I went wrong. I had a couple of weeks, especially the week I played Steve, where I thought the Jets would actually beat the Patriots, and that was the game that they lost. What was it, 33-0? And I had the defense and I
Damn.
benched their defense. So that was my fandom, and it smacked me a couple times, and but hey, it happens to the best of us, man.
I thought it was because of the team you drafted.
No, my team wasn't too bad. I had some inconsistencies at quarterback, man. And you know what? Fuck all of y'all for believing in what Steve used to say about quarterbacks. But quarterback play has been extremely important this year because I took the old strategy of saying I don't need to get one high or whatever, and I relied on Rivers, who is aging and didn't produce. And I had some shitty quarterback play all season.
Mm-hmm.
Shitty.
It's just been a weird year for quarterbacks in fantasy. I ended up getting Aaron Rodgers in like the 8th round, either some shit like that. But yeah, I mean, Yahoo had me slated for last place, and I ended up in first place. It is.
Yahoo's stupid. Yahoo's always stupid.
It's all about. I mean, still though, it's.
I get mad when they have me like, "Oh, you had an A ranked draft." I'm like, "Shit."
I did something wrong.
Like, damn.
I should have took you. The fact that you got Aaron Rodgers in the 8th round, like my prime example, somebody should have taken this guy earlier, and I should have taken him. I mean, my quarterback play was the biggest downfall of my season. Phillip Rivers usually is consistent 20 a game guy. He's done so. Like he was done so this year.
You was too busy in the room chit chatting on the phone instead of getting prepared for the draft.
Wrong. I'm talking about who I drafted at quarterback. I did okay otherwise, and then James Conner didn't do me any favor. But I think quarterback play meant the most this year than it has in a long time. Because who kept Mark drafted, I think, Pat Mahomes, right?
Yep.
He kept him.
So that's been 50 points a game for him by himself. Keep it honest. No, Pat Mahomes has had like some phenomenal games for Mark.
He slowed a little bit after his injury. He's out a couple of games, but
that's like how many weeks though?
Yeah, he's put up. He's put up a lot of points.
Yeah,
I would say that he's averaged 28.
I still. I mean, depth at the position players is more important than quarterbacks any day because you can find like a Tannehill. Look at Tannehill right now. Tannehill for the last 7 weeks has put up 25, 23, 33, 32. He's been killing it. Finding a running back who's going to give you that 20 something or that 18 as opposed to 9 if you need them and on a bye week or you need them to fill in for an injury if you don't get the backup. That's harder than finding a quarterback that's going to do the numbers. And that's for me, that's because Aaron Rodgers is fucking 11 points last week. The week before,
but you started him the majority of the season.
Yeah, I had no choice but to start. I mean,
that's my point. He's had more than a guy like Rivers. And when you look at quarterback play and Drew Brees being out with the Kamara situation, Kamara has been a dud for me because of the Drew Brees injury. And with running backs, you just never know who gets hurt and does what. I think this year, if you look at quarterback play, it's been more consistent than it's ever been, especially when you're looking at the like who had Dave has Lamar Jackson?
No, Rich had Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson's been carrying Rich.
Carried his ass right out the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, kept him in games, but you know what I mean. I think the court. I agree with you. I think just this year has kind of shown that the quarterback has been a little bit. I think this has been the most important they've been in a long time.
Eric lost in his league.
I lost in my only free league. I won in all my money leagues. I'm in 3 playoffs and money leagues right now. I lost my. That was bad. My best lineup would have won, but I couldn't see that happening. I couldn't see. I still don't think I made the wrong decision. So what if I would have changed Carson Wentz for Kirk Cousins, and what was the other thing? It was Robbie Anderson of all people for Jarvis Landry, and I would have won.
Yeah, you had no win-win on that.
Yeah.
No win-win. No obvious win-win on that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's one guy. Like Kirk Cousins has not been. I mean, they've been winning, but he's been having skimpy numbers.
Got Dalvin Cook. Who took Dalvin Cook? Steve?
No.
Mm.
No.
Adam Thielen's been freaking out. I took Adam Thielen. This guy's been out for like 5 weeks.
Dude, I have a league where I have Adam Thielen and T.Y. Hilton in that shit, and I'm still in the playoffs somehow.
Wow.
I won last week and this week. So in that league, I had Adam Thielen, T.Y. Hilton, and I just dropped. Damn, I forget who I dropped. I dropped someone that was hurt, but yeah, that was a rough one for me.
Mm.
Alshon, probably.
Yep, that's who it was. I had all three of those guys.
Damn.
Pascal on Indianapolis has been decent, but man, that's the thing. Injuries, man, and fuck you, Alvin Kamara. This dude.
Come on,
And
I
said it too. I said whoever I'm gonna draft this year at running back first is gonna fuck me. They're gonna have a bad year when typically they would have a good one. I decided let me go Kamara because he's usually the one to do whatever, and of course, fuck me over.
I was happy you did that, man, because I just snatched up Christian McCaffrey right after you did that. I was like, whoop.
Yep, he's had shit games all year, man. It's horrible. Horrible.
Yep. Yeah, Kamara, he fucked me in another league, so I know the feeling. I traded for him. I actually traded for him, and I'm like, oh, I got it. No.
Right.
So.
Fucking jerk.
But yeah. We'll see. We'll see how it goes this week, and good luck to you, E. Perhaps we'll meet in the championship.
Perhaps.
Probably not.
And if not, then I'll be playing somebody else.
Hater.
You know it.
Yeah. All right. So, in the nature of Mr. VP, since we don't have him, we'll say. I actually forgot to do it at the beginning of the cast, but we appreciate the listeners. We're back here. We're back on for consistency again. I know that we've been getting texts and DMs and stuff again. People asking where's the new episode. So that's great to hear. That's flattering. But yeah, we can be found on Spotify, Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, fucking YouTube is the biggest one right now. That's our video content, so you can see the video of the cast. Facebook, Twitter, and most importantly, Instagram, Castworthy. If you search for it, CASTWORTHY. Pretty much anywhere where podcasts are available, iHeartRadio, Google Play Music. I mean, anything you can really think of under the sun, we should be there. And like us, share, follow, comment, send us some fucking crazy ass topics and something that you might be thinking about. We'll talk about it. But that's where you can find us. We appreciate you, and one love. Peace out.
Peace.
Peace.